Sorry.
This is so painful. I want to break up with her. Welcome to Something Feral, the podcast where three friends watch, eat, and talk trash. We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
I'm Brianna.
And I am Calm Blaze today. Well, I was until 10 minutes ago.
Director Blaze.
Director, excuse me.
I think your coffee liqueur on the rocks really leveled you out. You have your water bottle, your emotional support water bottle, your emotional support cocktail.
My new desk and chair.
New director's chair. We're starting strong today.
I don't know how to sit. It feels too official. I can't slouch.
I think you need to manspread more.
Yeah, you look like you're our boss. Now you look like you're a douchebag director.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Strong start.
Wow.
It's the man spreading. She spread her knees and hunched over. Oh, it was very swift.
I feel like a man now.
You know what? You look great.
You do.
Thank you.
Top of the order, no corrections this week.
Look at us.
I know, look at us.
No Dr. Panda feedback this
I
week?
don't know, Dr. Panda just might not be caught up. She'll let us know, don't worry. But I just wanted to say that I went up north this weekend and saw a good friend of mine who also knows our friend's dad, who, when I said that we talked about how hot he was and it upset you, she said, oh my God, what? Why? He was so hot. I used to tell her that all the time.
What?
So it is not just us. He is objectively
attractive.
a fox.
I can agree with that, but do we have to be gross?
Oh. You agree?
I'm not an idiot. I have eyes. I'm just saying, like...
she's turning to the dark side.
The first crack.
But I don't agree with the disgusting things you say.
I don't think I said anything overtly disgusting.
No,
I'm just appreciating a good-looking man.
If it was someone that you saw as a father, you would.
I don't see him as a father, but I could see him as a daddy.
Oh my God. Again. Sick freaks once again.
We have made so much progress with you. You were so repulsed by us even bringing this up, and now you're like, I objectively can say he is an attractive man. So we are making such good progress.
I have eyeballs and they're not dry today.
You're going to be singing this song in like 2 weeks' time.
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Ew.
Or pony. We won't discriminate.
Also, fuck you, because that was stuck in my head for days, and it is a horrible song. It is bad. It is stupid.
Pony?
No, Daddy's Home.
Okay, good, because Pony is a classic.
So is Daddy's Home.
It is so catchy, and it was stuck in my head.
Yeah, I was vocal stimming it for several days.
It's a bop.
It is a bop.
Okay, before we get into it, we need to talk about, this is our 10th episode, ladies. Our 10th episode. This is a milestone, if you will.
That's huge. Yeah, I knew we'd get here, and it feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited for like what that means. Like that
What's
means
next?
20's coming, and that means more is coming, and
100.
more people have to hear us.
Yeah, that's right.
And listen to us.
We've committed for 10 weeks. That's kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, we've committed to this friendship for 20 plus years.
That's true.
And I mean, we did have a conversation when we started this where like, we really want to make this work. We really want to be serious about it. We've been consistent because we've like really prioritized it, and it feels nice.
Yeah, and I will say, what is the statistic? It is 80% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. So, wowee.
And wasn't it like less than 1% make it to episode 20 or something?
Yeah, something insane.
Not us. We'll never stop.
Never.
Sorry.
Not sorry.
I'm not sorry. One of my favorite things I ever read was in Vogue many years ago. I think I was in like high school, and it was talking about apologizing. It was like, basically, like, if you really fuck up, you should just like apologize once, honestly, and move on. Because it's like, you don't need to like apologize like over and over. And the quote they said was, your friends don't need it and your enemies don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took that to mean never say sorry.
That's right.
Nope.
Just kidding. But
Only once. Never twice.
yeah, once is enough. And I'm not sorry that everyone gets to hear our voices forever.
So are we going to jump into our first segment for today?
I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. Take us away. I'm like eager.
So we've officially named the segment. We are using this segment as a placeholder temporarily for feral behavior because it is in fact live feral behavior.
True.
And we are calling our Battle of the Exes bracket now is labeled as March Menace.
That's right. We don't want to get sued by the NCAA.
Nope.
Honestly, it is good PR though. Like that lawsuit. I mean, just saying.
I mean, but March Menace is pretty fucking funny.
It is really fun. We're funny. Funnier than our exes.
You know, we really should have looked at humor as a category. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That was a big miss on our part. Maybe that's what we can talk about for the Egregious Eight.
You know why we probably didn't pick comedy as a category? Because none of them were funny.
No.
Notably funny.
Yeah, that's true. No points would be had.
You had one who was funny, Brianna.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He could be funny.
Yeah, he had a general sense of humor. I mean, if someone had to have a point for that, it would be, yeah.
Which number was this for the listeners?
He was E4.
Yeah, I thought E4 was like, he could be funny. He had a good sense of humor.
He had good wit.
That's true, because he was smart.
Yeah, because he was smart.
Again, credit where credit's due.
And obviously, as we all know, E13, Kate's ex, also probably had a good sense of humor because he had a good everything.
Yeah, a very like big sense of humor. Like if that was not your thing, that would be like a lot. But yeah, it worked.
All right, so we are going to go into the second half of our Shit 16, and I will pull up the images of the exes so that you guys can see what the AI generated. We are going to start with the first ex of the evening, which is Blaze's ex.
Hell yeah. I'm excited because I don't remember who else we picked, so it's going to be a surprise.
So this individual was described to the AI as quiet, narcissistic, daddy issues, and inattentive.
Oh, I know who this is.
Me too.
No!
Whoa.
That is not... Okay, that is cruel. That photo.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, the AI made him look like Dudley Dursley.
Yeah, he's not obese in real life. This does not make sense.
Again, the AI was in charge, not I.
Yeah, and again, real quick before we dive in, I had a couple people reach out to me based on like certain pictures and be like, "Oh my god, I know like who that was." Haha. And I was like, "No, you don't understand. Like we gave them nothing in terms we gave the AI nothing in terms of
physical descriptors.
Yeah, not like truly nothing. It just
and some of them really don't look like the person at all. The majority of them.
Yeah, majority don't.
So if you're out there, exes, if you are seeing yourself in one of these AI versions, maybe you should look in the mirror.
Yeah, look inward because these descriptors are not flattering. And if you feel like you relate to this, maybe start doing some internal work. You should have done it a long time ago, but we're helping you now.
So objectively attractive.
I would say yeah, but not based on that photo.
No, again, and the photos are not a physical representation.
Yeah, in real life, yes, I would say.
So middle of the road to me.
Yeah, so middle of the road to me too.
Just like big guy.
Yeah, but like not unattractive.
No, but also not like, you know, you're like, oh, like he's so tall. Like, yeah, he was tall, but he was also just like large. Not, again, like not there's anything wrong with that. He was just like a big human, and that's like what it was.
Okay. Majority rule, so are we saying no here?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I could also say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Not
so.
ugly by any
Right,
means.
no, not an uggo.
But just large man.
All right, life skills.
I would say yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Agree.
Independent.
Yep.
Yeah, we knew that one.
Wait a minute. His livelihood for a very long time was tied to relatives.
Okay.
And eventually that was not the case.
But he was always working.
And very working for that relative, very dependent off that relative for a long time.
Are we removing that point then, ladies?
I would give it a point, but I just wanted to raise that flag.
Intelligence.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, he was smart.
Emotional intelligence.
Zero. I don't know if he knows my name, to be honest.
I don't think there's anybody that has less emotional intelligence than this individual on this list.
Yeah.
I say this with my whole chest. I do not think he knew my name.
I don't think he knew Kristen's name.
Like, I house sat for him. I lived with you. I was there all. I never heard him say my name. And
he absolutely would never know who I was.
No way.
No, but like, I was your roommate. I lived with you. Like, and also like spent time in his home with both of you. I do not think he knows my name.
I'm confident that he does not.
I don't know that he knew it back then. Like, he might have because you told it to him.
He wouldn't have cared to ask. My friends, who cares?
He never said it. Yeah, he never said like, hey, Kate, when we were hanging out. It was just, I mean, he didn't really talk to me very much. Weird guy.
Habits and hobbies.
I would say point.
Yeah, good hobbies.
Behavior towards women.
Actually, he's very kind towards women. He's just a very like kind person, but he just doesn't care about people.
Right.
He's never cruel to anyone. Even like I've never saw him be cruel to anyone.
No, he was never mean or unkind. He just
You would say gentle giant. I would say
gentle is too nice. Harmless giant.
Yeah, harmless. Yes.
Okay. Style.
I would say point.
Yeah, he had good style.
Okay. Well, he is our highest ranking in terms of points right now.
That is
which is crazy.
Because I don't really have like so many negative things to say, and that like again, he was never unkind. He was never like bad towards you. Like,
yeah, we ended amicably. There wasn't any egregious moment.
So he isn't moving into the Egregious Eight.
Exactly.
But he just lived on his own planet where there were no other residents. Like, I don't.
And the doors were closed.
I've never met someone like that. Like, he's truly one of a kind.
And he liked it that way.
Oh yeah, it was like that for a reason. Like, I've truly never met anyone like that. Like, I would like to pick his brain psychologically. He's truly one of a kind.
Another enigma. Why must I date all the enigmas? The
Yeah.
weirds. The very weirds.
Well, now speaking of the very weirds,
Oh,
we're
boy.
moving on to one of Kate's exes.
I knew she looked at me when she said that.
This individual is described as whiny.
Wait, who is that? Let me show you the picture.
I will show you the picture after the
Okay.
adjectives.
It's a surprise.
I don't remember either.
Chip on shoulder, cheater, scummy.
Scummy.
I can't think.
Who is that? Oh my God, I forgot about that person.
Oh! I should have known.
What a horrible photo, but also like kind of accurate.
It is. And how did we not know?
But it doesn't look like him. It just embodies him.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Wild. His insides and his outsides kind of match.
It's the scumminess.
All right. Objectively attractive.
No. You know what though? He had a hot dad.
Really?
Oh yeah. His dad looked like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
It was
Wow.
such a treat to be around that man.
So that's why you dated him.
He was young too.
Wow.
Hot dad.
All right, life skills.
Oh no.
None. Independence.
No. I don't know. I mean, we dated so long. I really don't know. My heart says no.
Emotional intelligence. Cheater.
Yeah, cheater. Boo.
He thought he was really emotionally intelligent.
But he was just whiny.
Correct.
Oh, sorry. I did skip regular intelligence.
He was like, I would say slightly above average intelligence. Yeah. Not a genius, but above average intelligence.
So then I would say, yeah, point.
Like
Okay.
creative.
Emotional
you know.
intelligence, point, yes or no? A cheater.
Yeah, cheaters don't get an emotional points.
And how did you find out about it?
Oh, I mean, through someone else.
Right. So he
Down
didn't,
the
it wasn't
road.
like he like had the care to speak to you about it.
Oh yeah, mine certainly didn't either.
No. I would say no. He had a lot of feelings, and I think he thought he was really in touch with his emotions and really like emotionally intelligent, but really like lacked any sort of self-awareness. So no, I'd say no.
Okay. Habits and hobbies.
Not bad. Yeah, I'd give him a point for that.
He was a smoker though, wasn't he?
I don't really know. I mean, he liked like music and stuff like that.
He looked like he smoked. Scummy.
Yeah, scummy. Behavior towards women.
Not good.
Cheater. Boo.
Style.
Boo.
No,
Boo,
no,
boo, boo, boo.
bad style.
Well, easy answer. Kate's ex is moving forward.
Dang, they're really making progress.
Yep.
This is surprising.
I know, it is. I thought yours were, I mean, we've got more to
Oh,
meet.
we've got more to come, my friends. All right, we're going to move on to the next round. This is E6. This is one of Blaze's exes.
Another surprise for me.
Yep.
We need one of yours.
Yep. This one is, I think, my favorite AI generated
She
images.
doesn't have that many. She was married very young.
Oh, that's right. We
I don't have a
so
lot of
many more
exes.
than her. She
Yeah.
doesn't have any more.
This person was described as crazy, conspiracist, slut,
Do you mean conspiracy theorist?
Is conspiracist a word?
conspiracist, yeah, religious.
One who
Oh, I
conspires.
know this one.
Oh, boy. I do too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Wow. Again, another really matches.
The teeth.
The teeth,
Oh,
yeah.
my God. Oh.
Yeah.
Eerily accurate.
All right.
Oh, my God.
Objectively attractive.
No.
No, I will admit that. Nope.
Life skills.
Zero. Never had a
No.
job, I don't think. Not a real one.
I'm so curious how did his parents have a lot of money? Is that how he
They
just
sure did.
exists? Okay, yeah.
Yep, there it is. Ding, ding, ding. Independent.
No.
Yep. Intelligent.
Yes. That is why he's crazy.
I'm actually ready to argue this. And I have I have an anecdote that I want to share.
Okay.
Because you say he was smart, but he continued to elect to go down these bonkers roads that made no sense. Which, like, was a choice for someone that intelligent. You know what I mean? To a degree.
He used intelligence in all the wrong ways. Every wrong way you could ever use it, he did.
Okay, here's a story about that.
I think you can be intelligent and also like crazy.
Yeah, but let me share this. Like, we were at a bar one time, and I remember he was telling me, I don't know how I got cornered with him into a conversation because I was not thrilled even at the time. And like at the time we were like young, and I mean I was
like 21, 22.
Yeah, so I had been like when we went out. Like I had been drinking, and even then I was like, "This is not enough." Like, and I remember him saying to me, he was like, "Yeah, like I've got this like bulletproof vest coming, like, and I'm actually gonna get like the outside like embroidered, and it's gonna say, 'Fear not that they can take your body, but fear that they can take your mind.'" And I was like, well, aren't you afraid of them taking your body if you're wearing a bulletproof vest all the time? And he was like, oh, I'd never thought of that. And I was like, okay.
Okay,
and then literally like a minute later, the song Diamonds by Rihanna came on. And he goes, you know what this song's about? And I was like, the Illuminati. And he was like, yep. And I remember like him, like I remember you drove that night. You were not drinking and you drove me home. And I remember like a car pulled into like the neighborhood behind us. And he was like, they're following us. And I was like, that's my fucking neighbor. Like,
Oh, yeah. Someone was always following him.
yeah, I was like, yeah, someone technically is following you because they're going into the neighborhood at the same time. Like, only one car can go first, you know? Like, oh my God.
Nope, it was nefarious.
Yeah. So I just wanted to share.
You're right. Maybe he wasn't smart. I don't know. He was so sheltered. And it's actually funny because my mom reminded me of something my brother said. And my brother usually does not care about any of this kind of stuff. And he said to her quietly one day, he's like, Mom, if she marries him, I will not come home.
Yeah.
Like, she never told me that.
Honestly,
He's not wrong.
that is
Not wrong.
a fair thing to say.
You would have never married that man.
No.
We wouldn't have let that happen.
No, there's no way.
I even knew. It was just exciting at the time. I'm like, this person's insane. This is cool.
You know what? You were thinking ahead and building content for the pod.
Exactly.
That's what this is about.
Well, and also, like, I just want to say, like, in our own defense, there are a lot of people on this list that we all knew we weren't going to marry.
Oh,
like,
God, no.
I wasn't like dating in my early 20s being like, my spouse is coming. Like, that was not like my intention. Like, nor
No.
was it like at the time yours.
No, I always knew. I'm like, I'll never be with this person, but this is like fun when I'm
Yeah,
21.
we were like in our early 20s, it was fun. We weren't like, so like, how are things going with him? Like,
Right. Do you think it's going to get serious?
Nobody ever asked me that with
no,
him.
that's not what it was like back then.
No.
Anyway,
Emotional intelligence.
I almost think no. Another one who lived on his own planet.
Yeah, everything was about him, so I would say no.
He couldn't like read a room.
No. Oh, no.
Habits and hobbies, we know the answer
Oh,
to this. I don't
Oh,
think-
bad.
Negative.
Ew. The worst of all.
Behavior towards women.
Okay, despite all of the insane things that were done, he was never cruel to me.
How did he vote?
Not
Probably
good.
didn't vote. Are you raising your hand?
I want to make a point. I don't know if it's a point I'm allowed to make.
We can always cut it.
I would argue, yeah, if he's ever voted, it was only for one person recently. And
I don't know.
I feel like he wouldn't like vote because he wouldn't
like,
want
they'll
his
track
name in
me.
the system. Yeah.
100%.
even though that's not how, like, whatever.
No,
Like,
that's not how it works.
ballots are anonymous, but he wouldn't believe that.
He wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
No.
If I had to guess, I would say he wouldn't, because it's a government building. He's not comfortable there.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't, like, go to a polling place.
No.
He would go to the middle school.
Yeah.
Somebody's be waiting for him there. He, to take him away to wherever.
Oh, that's right. They're waiting for him at his polling place.
Yes, because he knows too much of nothing.
Oh my God. Well, let the record reflect, I do not want to give him a point towards good behavior towards women, but I also want the record to reflect that, because I think he had very bad beliefs, but he also was not unkind or cruel.
True.
The bar is hell.
The bar is in hell. That is right.
Okay.
Oy, oy, oy.
Style? I think we all know the answer to that.
Yeah. You know what he was wearing to the bars.
It was bad.
All right. The next one is my ex. This is E11. And this is the generated image as well as what was described. Now, I think that this generated image is a very flattering one that he does not deserve.
Okay, show
Wow.
us.
This person was described as obsessive, fake cool, daddy issues, and a stalker.
Oh.
You know what, Brianna? I have to say that AI drew up a very handsome incel. He looks like a third cousin of the Kennedys that doesn't leave the basement. Look at that jawline.
Yeah, again, I think it was a little too
But
flattering.
also hasn't seen the sun.
I do attract incels. I
Yeah.
always have. All right, so this is my ex. Objectively attractive.
Yeah,
I think so.
He was good looking. One of the few on my list.
also true.
Life skills.
I didn't really know this man.
He had a very small chunk, but largely no.
Largely no, but he was living with his mom. So yeah, I would say not a lot of life skills and not very independent.
Not enough to get a point, yeah.
No, not enough to get a point. Intelligence.
He didn't seem that smart to me.
No, not very smart. Emotional intelligence.
Eh.
No, he was one of those people that he was always in love with someone, but always knew somebody else was in love with him. And the second that the person like was no longer enamored with him, it was like he would be obsessed with them. So that's what happened. Like he was kind of seeing this other girl that he was just obsessed with. And I was like a friend, and she like they were hooking up for a long time, and it was like sort of this back and forth thing. And then she was like, no, I don't want to be with you. And then he went like obsessed over her. Well, as soon as that ended, it was like my turn, basically.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Obsessive.
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yikes. Yeah. Like making fake Facebooks to reach out to me. Psycho.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. That's how long
Hate
ago this
that.
was. Yeah. Habits and hobbies. He had cool habits and hobbies. He was like a snowboarder. Yeah. He was a photographer.
He could like work on cars.
Not like the weenie.
I was going to say, unlike some of your others.
Behavior towards women, not
No.
great. No.
That wouldn't be good to me.
Not good. And then style was pretty good. He had a pretty good taste.
Yeah, he did have good style.
He was like more of a, he's really not an ex.
You know what he had going for him? Just his looks.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was very charming.
He seemed simple to me.
All right, so the winner of this round is Blaze's ex,
Gotta
obviously, because he's going to it.
Of course he's moving on. I mean, he might be in contender for winning. We did have to take out one of mine because he would have won the whole thing because he was the worst person alive. Yeah. So
Like an actual ghoul. Fuck that guy. I wonder what he's doing. I'd like to kick his ass.
we wanted it to be a fair fight. So this one is in contention for winning.
Yeah, I think so.
That's true. I think him and one of mine, those are at the top.
Oh,
they're
E2,
neck and neck.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
E2 and E6, I think, might be our final two. But we'll see. Hey,
We'll see.
You never know.
There's always a Cinderella story. It's March, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Now we're going to talk about E7. E7 is, again, one of Blaze's exes.
Here we go again.
This
boy.
person
I'm
was
excited.
described. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Yeah.
How many more are there left? I'm like, Jesus.
Well, you and I have more.
That's true.
We have so many
We
more.
actually have an equal amount of exes in this
That's
bracket.
not true. 16 isn't equally divided by 3.
You have more. No, but it's...
Me, wow.
Of course it wasn't her.
Wow, me.
Okay.
She has a husband that she met very young.
Yeah, child bride.
All right, take it easy. E7 is an ex person, and this individual was described as another obsessive person, family issues, codependent, and touchy.
This is my ex?
What? Family issues, codependent.
Oh.
You know what? He could be like
A Cinderella story.
a Cinderella story.
Yeah, I forgot.
I feel like this image really does like capture it though.
the essence is correct, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
looks nothing like him, but correct essence. 100%.
Right, yeah. I think that's the case for most of these.
The last three kind of looked alike. Like the worst, they're all siblings in the worst family of all time.
Yeah,
Objectively attractive.
I would say so.
Yeah,
He was
I
a
would
good
agree.
looking guy.
Life skills.
0.
No.
No.
None. Independence.
No.
No.
The
I mean, we
opposite.
literally describe him as codependent.
Yeah. No.
Intelligence.
Not really.
No.
No. Emotional intelligence.
I think same thing. I think he had a lot of feelings, so I think he thought he had emotional intelligence, but I don't really think he did.
He was also one of those people that jumped like from girl to girl to girl to girl to girl.
Yeah,
like because he
codependent.
couldn't sit in his own feelings.
He could not be single. Like, immediately had a long-term girlfriend, one after the other, yes.
No point there. Habits and hobbies.
I would
think
say
he
yeah.
had cool habits. Other than us being a smoker. He was another smoker.
Oh, yeah, yuck.
I remember he got mad at me once. Not like mad, angry, mad, like just kind of like pissy because he ashed a cigar in my hair when we were drinking on the boat one time. And I grabbed out of his hand and chucked it in the lake.
Good.
Yeah. And he was like, oh man, like you're so lucky that wasn't like my expensive cigar or whatever. And I was like,
Or what?
I was like, be serious. I was like, you ashed in my hair. You think I'm just gonna like stand for that? Like,
yeah, or what? What are you going to do?
like it was probably an accident. I don't care. Be careful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Ugh. Blech.
Behavior towards women.
It's tough because
It's so tough.
yeah,
He's
like,
not, like, cruel.
no, and again, like he was always like very warm and kind to like the people you cared about. Like I'm not just talking about
That's
myself.
true.
I'm talking about like your family, like you, like
I would say probably a point for this one.
yeah, he'd have to get a point, but like begrudgingly.
Yeah. Against our will.
Begrudgingly. Style.
Not great, bland.
Well, at the time, I thought
think
it was
at the
cool.
time it was cool. Yeah.
I don't know to this day. I don't know.
Yeah, a point's fair. It wasn't like offensive or he never looked dumb.
All right. Now we're going to move on to my ex. So this individual is my ex, and this is E10. Wanted to be a doctor, but could not hack it. Family issues, immature, and antisocial.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that looks like him.
I would like the people to know he was way creepier in person.
The AI is more handsome than what he looked like.
And that has not happened yet.
No, the
Yes.
eyes are accurate, but the AI is more attractive.
Okay, objectively attractive. I think we know the answer to that.
Very creepy looking guy.
So spooky.
You know who he looks like?
You can't say.
No, I can say this. He looks like the guy who killed those college students in Idaho.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
It just hit me like a train. Like I don't know even how that like.
I don't know what that person looks like, so I can't
It's
say.
because he's on trial like now, right?
Yeah, I'll pull it up for you. Keep going. I'll find him.
Number 2, life skills.
No, he could get through school, but he couldn't like.
I mean, he lived independently.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
mhm.
I don't remember.
I didn't realize that. I thought he lived with some siblings.
I think he'll get a point for that.
That's fair. Credit where credit's due.
Independence, yeah. He again, he lived on his own. He had like a lot of family issues, so like he kind of had to. He
Yeah.
was definitely intelligent.
Mhm.
I know he couldn't hack it as a doctor, but he was like fairly smart.
Brian Koberger is the guy's name.
It's always a Brian.
Let me see. Oh, I don't see that.
I do.
He looks like the AI photo you just
yeah,
showed
he
us.
looks like the AI, but not him in real life.
Oh, I think so. It's the eyes.
No, he was way more pale.
Yeah.
Oh, more pale?
Yeah, more pale than that, I would say.
I think he looks like him. I'm dying on this hill.
Emotional intelligence, zip zilch 0.
Nope, too weird.
Habits and hobbies, nothing cool.
Mm-mm.
Behavior towards women.
I don't remember.
I feel like neutral. His behavior towards everyone was off-putting and weird, but I don't think it was like rooted in misogyny that like he
Right,
was weird to
yeah.
women. I think he was just a weird person.
And I know he would vote the right way.
Yeah, he would.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll give him a point there. Style.
0.
Not good.
In the toilet.
Quite bad.
So the person that's actually moving on is your ex.
Wait.
Wait.
Which one? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
No,
okay.
that tracks. Because if I had to choose which one to...
I would say mine's worse. Yeah, for sure.
And yours is more of an, like, mine wasn't really, an ex.
She ran out of him because she
she
doesn't have that
she
many.
found her husband. It is, you know what, Blaze, yours had better social skills.
Sure
And
did.
that if I had to pick between who to hang out with, I wouldn't want to hang out with either of them. This is a terrible scenario, but like I'd probably pick yours.
Yeah.
Because he could hold a conversation.
Well, he's moving on to the Egregious Eight.
Wow, and he won't last long. There's way worse coming.
He could hold a conversation, but not much else.
True. Yikes.
All right, we are now moving on to our last 2 of the Shit 16, and this one is Kate's ex.
Kind of
Oh, boy.
sad about this, you guys. I want there to be more.
Well, we're going to keep going, ladies.
I don't know
All right.
who this is.
This person was described as fake smart, no EQ, so no emotional intelligence, so we already know he doesn't have a point. Hides feelings, and pretentious.
Yeah, I know who this is. Yep.
I don't. Oh!
The AI makes him look more dweeby. He was
Yeah,
hot in
he
real
was not
life.
as dweeby, but I think this works.
It looks like all the other ones, to be honest, but yes.
The AI started to give up.
All right. So, Jen,
Attractiveness, yes.
Yeah.
He was hot. Yeah.
Finally a hottie for Kate.
life skills, obviously.
I have 2 good looking ones.
Yeah.
Life skills, yeah. A lot of life skills.
Most of the time.
Independence, obviously.
Yeah, he was independent.
All right. Intelligent.
Yeah, very.
I know we said fake smart, but he was.
No, he was very smart. Yeah, I don't know why we said fake smart.
Because there's some things that you said he was not smart at, though.
Emotional stuff.
And some things that should be known.
Yeah, some
did not
basic,
know to
some
do.
very like basic life things.
Yes.
But overall, he's a very smart man.
Yeah, emotional intelligence.
No,
0.
and he, you know what? Chaotically enough, he really knew he lacked that. And when we ran into each other years later, I kind of let him know as much. And he was just like, "You're totally right. Like, you are so 100% right." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
Self-aware king, I guess.
At least he has that going for him. Habits and hobbies.
Good. His travel, ski, golf, like all that stuff.
Behavior towards women.
Net positive, yeah.
Okay. And last but not least, style.
Very good. But one of the best dressed on the list, if not the.
Okay.
He doesn't really belong in this category either.
The shit 16?
Yeah, I'm not saying like a majority of mine don't. Like there's one of mine might win the whole thing. Like I'm just saying like he is not shitty, just unique.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our final contestant.
Oh.
This is E9. And this individual
It's gotta be mine.
It is yours. It's the last person on the list, Blaze's ex, and he was described as a meathead, arrogant, close-minded, and that was it.
I knew it.
That AI is not accurate.
Yeah, that's not accurate at all.
Makes him look like very like artistic and interesting.
Yeah.
He was neither.
Wait. We said meathead and it gave us this?
Yeah.
That's so annoying.
We need to redo it. That one's not accurate at all.
We can't be too reliant on AI.
They all look the same. These
They
last
do.
like 4 ones look the same.
It's like the Love is Blind cast.
Need to redo it.
Again, arrogant and close-minded is hard to describe. We can only ask AI to do so much.
We should only ask AI to do so much.
Objectively attractive.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Blaze.
Okay.
Life skills.
Limited.
Sure.
I think we have to give him a point,
Yeah, lives on his own.
but again, begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Independence.
Sure.
Okay. Intelligence.
No, he was not smart.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no.
He thought he was.
Emotional intelligence.
No.
No.
Habits, hobbies.
Not
No.
good.
No.
Behavior towards women.
Not good.
Which way did he vote, Blaze?
Oh, red all the way. I am sure of that.
No points.
Also, he was very like, women should be in the home. And I was like, your home? Not your home.
I don't know if he meant that for everyone. He just wanted that. That's what he wanted. He wanted a wife
Yeah.
to be in the home and not out at the clubs, which I was at the time.
Which is so funny because, like, you being out at the clubs is just not you.
Not anymore.
Yeah, right?
It's so funny.
I sure was.
You were. I love that for you.
Yeah, style.
No.
All right, well, this was another blowout.
Yeah. That was easy.
Blaze's ex is moving on.
Yeah. I knew he'd make it. I don't think he's going to the foul four.
Yeah.
There's far worse.
He was just he just like wanted one thing and, wasn't going to budge. And that was tradition.
But also, like, didn't live up to his end of the bargain of, like, good traditional values.
Yeah.
Like, he was, like, engaging in bad behavior, but wanted a stay-at-home girlfriend to, like, baby him.
I will say
That's
it's
true.
actually a pretty even. Kate, you have 3. Blaze, you have 3, and I have 2 in the Egregious Eight.
Wow.
So it's fairly balanced.
Interesting.
So that's our shit 16 ladies and, our few male listeners. Thank you again. We'll be moving on now to the Egregious Eight, which will be a special episode next week, which will focus exclusively on our March Menace bracket. So we'll go over the Egregious Eight, the Foul Four, and then our final 2 contenders to find out who is the loser.
The March Menace.
The March Menace. Who is it? So tune in next week for our special episode, which will be all about the menacing men
The
in
menace.
March.
I can't wait because I don't know who's going to win.
Honestly, our Egregious Eight is a really solid. The matchups are really interesting.
The matchups are pretty fair.
Yeah, the matchups are pretty fair. So we're going to be coming up with some new criteria for those matchups just to really make sure that there's no
Nobody slips through the cracks on this
Exactly.
one.
That's right. The stakes get higher.
Yeah, this will be a little more objective, a little less calculated, I think. Right? Because we
Yeah.
were very much in a point system, but I think as a group, this will be a bit more.
It's all about who can win.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for listening, and you'll find out our March Menace next week. So now we're going to run into the rest of our traditional segments, which will always kick off with Trash and Treasure. Ladies, any Trash and Treasure?
I don't have any today.
I will tell you guys. So I want to shout out a Michigan business.
Local treasure.
Yeah, a local treasure. It's called the Double JJ Ranch, or the Double J Ranch. It is in Rothbury, Michigan. It is also the home of Electric Forest. And we went there this weekend, myself, Dale, and Gillian. We took a little weekend getaway, and we've actually liked to go in the winter. It's really fun. It's really cheap. It was $99 a night for a full cabin.
That's awesome.
It's so fun.
And for those of you mommies or daddies out there listening, there's an indoor water park. There's just like a ton of stuff for kids to do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the water park's newer, and like the water park didn't feel too kidsy.
Okay.
Like I was in the lazy river for like hours.
I love a lazy river.
Oh, it was so much fun. And then they had this like hot tub that you were able to go outside in the hot tub.
I love that.
Yeah, so like you could like sit in the hot tub, and then it was really just still cold out, so it was really nice. And we unplugged, and it was just a really wonderful weekend. So if you live in Michigan or close to, highly recommend Double J Resort. Really, really fun. We also went horseback riding.
Yeah, Gillian rode a horse for the first
Gillian
time.
rode a horse for the
Oh.
first time and was so into it and so funny.
Was he scared?
No, not at all. He was like yelling yeehaw and giddy up cowboy.
Oh my God.
He's so cute.
So the horse was led by like the ranger or whatever, but he held on to the horn with 2 hands the whole time. And like he put his foot in the stirrups when they came out. He took it very seriously.
Oh.
It was really funny, especially like, so Dale rode this like horse that was just not in a good mood. Like it was very funny.
That's like, of course Dale would get that horse.
Well, it's also like, so because of Dale's size, they have to give him like a giant horse. This horse was huge. This horse was like
A steed.
like a Clydesdale. It was massive. Here, I'll show you guys a picture of this horse.
Cry.
Whoa, look at this guy. Gotta get a big one.
Look at this. Well, they ask you. They ask you your weight.
Bring out Bissy.
Like, look at the size of this horse.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna cry.
And the horse's name was Patrick. And Patrick was like, it was like the first nice day in a while, and Patrick just like did not want to go on this trail ride.
Patrick's like, get this fatty off me.
Yeah, basically. And Patrick like was trying to lay down the whole ride and was like making Dale go off the path. Like, it was so funny. So Dale was just having the hardest time with his horse, and Gillian is just having the time of his life. And so I'm trying to like keep Gillian like happy and excited while Dale's like
Patrick's
fighting.
going nuts.
Dale's fighting for his life on Patrick, the horse.
This is so fucking funny.
Wait, it gets worse. So then Patrick at some point, Patrick decides that there's like
Patrick for a horse is so funny.
And a big one too.
Trying to lay it down.
yeah. And so like Patrick is like, it's really windy. And so this wind hits and it like hits like a piece of plastic, and Patrick rears tail back. And like all the horses spook. And I will say Gillian like held on and like listened. It was like really good.
Oh.
He had a helmet on, just so everybody knows. And like his horse was like
Not like Patrick.
his horse was named Poco.
Oh.
Perfectly acceptable horse name.
So then our ranch leader, the rancher or whatever, she's like, oh, he might not be feeling well.
Feeling well.
She's like, he's really not acting like himself. So Dale is, of course, like, he didn't tell me this at the time, but like we got off the horses and he was like, that was terrifying. Here I am on this giant horse named Patrick who just like doesn't want to listen to me. And she's like telling me, oh, he must not be feeling well. So then she's like, why don't you try to take him in a circle? And Patrick just would not do it. He would not do it. He just did not listen to anything Dale said. And at one point, Patrick, like, so usually like the leaders, like the person like that you're on the trail ride with is in front. So she was in front for most of the ride. Then she had like Gillian, and Patrick just decided that was not okay. And Patrick went around everyone and started just like basically like just pouting. And I tell you, when this horse, I'm gonna get up, so I'm sorry, Blaze, for the mic, but this is how the horse was walking back, like just pouting the whole
With Dale on him.
just like clomping his feet down, just was such a like frustrated, like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. Get this man off me.
Why? I wonder.
I don't know. Patrick was just in a bad mood.
Oh, he's throwing a tantrum. Oh,
yeah,
God.
he was throwing a tantrum.
I love that it was Dale's horse. I love it so much.
It just completely like makes sense to me in the most deranged way. I don't know why.
Well, can't horses feel energy? Was Dale's energy like fucked up?
No, that's the funniest part. Dale's like so wholesome. Just like, wow, I'm so excited to go horseback riding.
Patrick's like, fuck you,
Well,
weirdo.
I think this is where it started. So last time we were there, every time we've gone horseback riding. So Dale, we've gone 3 or 4 times, and Dale always got the same horse named Ethel. And Ethel was this like, again, huge massive horse.
Why? Dale, okay, I'm sorry. Dale is not that big.
Yeah,
he's
he's not,
large,
like,
but he's
so-
not heavy. I mean, is he heavy? I don't know.
Yeah, but he's not like so massive that he couldn't ride a horse, I would think.
No, but they like, I mean, you have to think like he's 130 pounds more than me.
Yeah, but like that horse.
I'm just telling you, every time they always put him on a giant. It's also like you have to think the length of your legs too.
Oh my god, yeah, he's like touching the ground.
Right, yeah. So the last few times Dale has ridden this horse named Ethel, and Ethel was like ancient. She was so sweet and so kind.
A behaved lady. And Dale was like, oh, like, am I gonna get to ride Ethel again?
Right, she's so excited to get like this sweet old horse. It's like, nope, Patrick.
Well, Ethel passed away. And so I think Patrick heard. I think Patrick was mad that Dale requested Ethel.
Wow.
Why do they all have like Kennedy family names?
Well, one of them was Lucy and Ethel. So they were sisters.
Where did Patrick come from?
I don't know, but Patrick was also like
Crazy
young
for a horse. It's so funny.
Patrick, I just love that. So my horse was named Shadow.
Okay.
Poco. So all like regular names, but then there was Patrick.
Of all people, like for the horse to misbehave with the rider, it's just funny that it was Dale because he is undeserving of this behavior from a horse.
Right.
I know he was so nice to the horses
He was like, "You're doing such a good job, Patrick. Like, good boy, Patrick." And then she was like, "Just kick him," and he's like, okay. And she's like, no, you really have to kick him. And Dale just like was not into it.
Like a big sturdy horse. Yeah. Especially if it's in a bad mood, I imagine you kind of have to like,
I wouldn't want to kick Patrick in that condition. I'd be scared.
It was very funny. Oh yeah, and then Patrick ran him into like a tree, under a tree, so like the branches hit him, and then his hat fell off.
I know it was on purpose.
We had to get off the horses so we could get his hat.
Oh my god,
bitch ass Patrick! What the hell?
We'll post a picture of Patrick for our listeners.
Oh my god, yeah, we have to.
Yeah. So when we were leaving, Dale saw Patrick eating and was like, "Fuck you, Patrick."
Oh, I'm so glad to know that. That was so funny.
Long story short, Treasure is the Double J Ranch, and if you go there,
Trash is Patrick.
Yeah, the trash is Patrick. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in this family photo, Patrick also won't look.
Let me see it.
His head is like all the way turned.
Oh my god, he looks like an angsty giant teenager.
Patrick is sentient, I
this
swear.
This picture is so funny because you and Gillian, your horses match. They're looking at listeners like they're looking at each other holding hands. Her and Gillian, their horses match. They're both looking at the camera. Patrick is like off to the side,
like Joe. I don't want to be. I don't want any photos taken of me.
And Dale is just like tagging. It's so funny.
Patrick is ruining this photo.
Yeah, Patrick was not having it.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's like, fuck this family photo.
Yeah. He's literally like an angry teenager who was forced to be in a photo.
Wow.
Oh my god, wow.
I'm so happy.
So if you want an angsty horse, ask for Patrick at the Double J Ranch.
Wow, that was so funny.
Yeah, it was a really fun weekend.
A rootin' tootin' time.
Just us and Patrick. So highly recommend if you like, even if you're not like a big like outdoors person, this is a really fun thing to just do. So that's my treasure for this week.
I love that. I can't top Patrick, but yeah, my treasure would be, I went up north and like the lake was really frozen, which was really cool. So I got to like walk out onto the ice and stuff, which was like very cathartic. I was like listening to Ethel Cain and like looking at the ice. The frozen Great Lakes are something special. Just like walking out on that ice, like the vastness and like the cold, and the just felt really, really good. Really good to be
reading
out there.
those spooky stories.
Honestly, it was
that I am interested in. Brianna.
I am not saying anything.
Yeah, I'll share the book with you, Blaze.
Thank you.
You would love it, actually, especially like a short story. Like, again, we've talked about the Gothic energy. That environment was the perfect place to read it. It was very nice.
Do they have it on audiobook?
Probably.
I think they have everything on audiobook.
Honestly, that would have been awesome. Like listening to those stories while like walking on the ice with like the wind and like the cold. Ooh. That really would have been a vibe.
Very goth.
That's
very,
a vibe.
Very goth. Just living my Gothic dreams. I was like, I really want to run out onto this ice. And I was like, I mean, it wasn't safe.
Don't do that.
No, like it was like too slippery and not safe.
She's in a mood, but not that kind of mood.
Yeah, no, to be clear, I still want to remain alive. I want to come back. Want to run out and return safely.
For legal purposes.
Yeah, like don't put me in a hold. I'm good. Like again, as I had to issue with my journal that I did not leave in the library, I wish to remain alive. I just like a dark story and, you know, the harshness of the elements.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, nothing super new.
All right. So we're going to be moving on to our next segment, which is Dumpster Dive. And we have another letter for you folks this evening. Blaze is going to read it because it's not in pencil.
Blaze can't read pencil. She's not a good reader.
You are a good reader.
I need a flashlight for this one.
It is in pen, though.
It is in pen, but I don't have my slutty little glasses on or contacts today because you know how in trouble I got last time.
So you're just blind.
I'm fucking blind over here. Do we have any backstory to this letter? Anything I need?
This is, I believe, when he's in college.
Are they together at this point?
And they are together, but there was a breakup.
Oh, together again.
This is together again when he's in his freshman year. They were together, I think, all of freshman year of college.
Ugh. I remember in college, I was just like always annoying. It was like, oh, like someone's
My
significant other
girlfriend
back
back
home.
home.
I was just
Yeah.
like, all right. Like,
Was she still in high school too?
Yes.
Ugh.
I mean, it didn't work out.
it rarely does.
Here I go. Hey, hun. Okay, I'll start with the promise ring. I really want one because we're so far away from each other and we're going to be together forever. And that's something for me to hold on to while you're away. So whenever I put it on, I will know that you still care and we are so close that nothing will tear us apart. I just really think I need one. They aren't that expensive either. In italics, with you changing, you are not the same guy that I first laid my eyes on and feel in love with. I'm sorry to say that, but you need to go back to being my sweetheart. You are very bitter a lot of the time. I hate it. Then you are not as cuddly and lovey-dovey anymore. I really miss our late night talks. You are becoming a more, quote-unquote, don't care attitude. Sometimes you act like you could care less about us. I miss the reassuring Edward. I can't find the words to explain this stuff, but you really are different. In italics again, what I want from this relationship. I want us to be happy, face to face and on the phone. I want us to end up being married with a family of 2 to 4 kids? I don't know. I want us to have time for each other. I want us to support one another in our sports, schooling, or anything that comes up. I want us to be able to see each other a couple times a month. I want us to agree on things and work things out, always, and not fight. I think if we both try that, things will work out for the best. I want us to trust each other. I know that I need to build that up. I promise I will! In italics. Anyways, I'm so glad to see you. Oh my goodness! When you walked in, I was so excited. It was so excellent. And that's it. There is no sign-off. She ran out of paper. There might be a part 2 to this letter somewhere. I don't know.
We don't need to find it.
The italics with the titles and the random starting over is very funny.
God, on one hand, I like... feel bad because, like, you know, he's clearly moved on with his life. Like, he's in college. She's like a high schooler. Like, there's nothing more annoying than like, oh, my high school significant other's coming to visit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay. But like, I feel bad for her because he's clearly like moved on and living his life. But on the other hand, it's just like, I know, like, if someone, like, I think of back in college, like, we would, like, find this letter and, like, read it out loud. You know what I mean? Like, just because that's, like, what dorm life was like, you know?
I also don't think this was mailed to him.
Oh, so it was, like, given to him when they saw each other?
I would imagine so. Like, look how it's folded.
It's folded in, like, the origami, you know, like...
Yeah, it's not folded like a
you
letter.
hide it somewhere. Mm-hmm. Well, I was personally in this situation. I had a boyfriend when I was a junior in high school, and he was a senior. He went to college. And I was, like... When he was leaving for college, I'm like, it literally makes no sense for us to be together. Like,
and he was a good guy, too.
Good guy.
Yeah.
We made, like, a marriage pact, a whole thing. And if we were, like, 25 and weren't with anyone, you know, because 25 was so old.
You were with, like, these crazy psychos, too. It's, like, so funny. You're like, if we're alone at 25. He's like, have you ever bought Kevlar?
Yeah. Little did I know I would meet some real psychos. But, yeah, 25,
again,
that was so old.
You changed.
I changed because I let go.
Your brain developed.
I had the sense to be like, this doesn't make sense. I'm in high school still. You're in college. Like, go live your life. If we're meant to be, we will meant to be. We were not. So we did not.
Yeah. And, like, could you imagine, again, being in the dorms and finding one of your, like, dorm mates letter from their significant other in college demanding a promise ring? Like, you would just make fun of them until the end of time.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Also, like, are promise rings a thing? Do people do that outside of, like, I don't know, like, evangelical church? Like, I don't know. Like, that's so weird to me.
I think there's promise rings, and then there's also
purity rings.
I was gonna say virginity rings, but yeah, purity rings.
That's the one that your dad gives you. Speaking of, like, gross, like, daddy's little girl bullshit.
Oh. Didn't the Jonas Brothers wear purity rings?
Yeah, I think so.
I heard
puberty rings.
Yeah, that was a whole South Park episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a promise ring. I've never, ever wanted a promise ring, but I had also never dated anybody that would be like,
give you a promise ring.
a promise ring.
Yeah.
No, it's very losery. Sorry. I'm sorry to this girl. Well, that was quite a letter.
Yeah, it's, you know what? They're always a fun surprise. And the moods are always ever changing.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
Should we wrap it up, ladies? FTN, What are we doing?
I am hungry.
What are you feeling?
You mentioned Chinese earlier.
I didn't mention Chinese. You did.
No. You brought it up because you were talking about Blaze oversalting food.
Yeah, and I said I don't mind when you put salt on popcorn, but I do mind when you put salt on a bag of potato chips. And you said also Chinese food. You don't like when I do that either.
And side-tie. You really don't like when I put it on the side-tie.
It doesn't need it.
Basically, you don't like when I put salt on anything. I'm realizing.
Especially when there's soy sauce available. You don't need it.
Soy sauce doesn't go on everything.
It goes on Chinese food.
Soy sauce doesn't taste like salt.
It is salt.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like plain salt.
Oh my gosh.
There's a flavor.
Okay.
We need it. Our bodies crave the salt.
Yeah.
There
you
is a
need
limit.
salt to absorb water. We're hydrated girlies.
That's right.
Okay, I didn't say I'm never eating salt again, but I did say it shouldn't go on salted potato chips.
Actually, I would argue that these potato chips are the 30% less sodium ones from Costco.
Oh, so you got to make up for it. Make up for the difference.
They forgot 30% of it.
Oh my gosh, you're just improving the recipe.
Exactly. Unfortunately, that's the only bag they had.
Oh, okay, well.
Yeah, I don't like that reduced sodium bullshit.
No, I had to fix it.
Well, is that what you guys want? It's not really what I want, but
What do you want?
I'm not answering. I'm not going to say.
What is it? Tell us.
You're having a
Say
bad day. What do you want?
What do I really want? Like, if I'm being so honest.
Yeah.
Sushi, always. But again, we're budgeting these days, so.
Not for long.
That's true. Still budgeting, but less aggressively so.
Blaze, what are you in the mood for?
Cheesecake.
Yeah, good for you. You should pick Brianna. You seem to have strong feelings.
I really want Chinese food.
Okay.
Okay. We'll figure it out. And then we're not watching anything, right? Because we're going to be, our plan for this evening's FTN, our feral behavior for ourselves this evening is to discuss and decide on the criteria for the Egregious Eight.
Yeah, we've got work to do.
We'll be finding out the categories, and they will be interesting.
Interesting, specific, insane.
And we'll have Love is Blind on in the background because it's a
I think
background
that's
show.
a great idea. It might be inspirational too. Who knows?
Inspirational.
I mean, for our categories.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Maverick and I watched ahead a little bit. So honestly, you guys.
But Maverick's not a fan.
Yeah, against his will.
Let the record show.
Let the record reflect he hated every second of it.
He closed his eyes tight.
Pretty much. Although he had some really good assessments of some of the trash behavior.
Ooh.
So he's a fan.
No, we made it very clear. Again, I can talk about how much I want my friend's dad all the livelong day. I cannot inaccurately state that Maverick is a fan of Love is Blind.
Maverick, we believe you. Team Maverick. Actually, today I'm feeling like Team Patrick.
Team Patrick. Oh my
He
God.
is a feral horse.
Feral behavior,
Feral
Patrick.
behavior, Patrick.
Most of the time, men deserve when bad things happen, but not Dale.
No, certainly
not
not.
in this time.
No, he was just trying to have a nice outing with his wife and son.
And I say that. We talk shit about men, but let the record show we love our men.
That's right, we do.
Yeah, because they are gems in a sea of trash.
Menaces.
Yeah,
Menaces?
menaces.
Menaces?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, our significant others across the board, wonderful men.
Angels. Yeah. Angels sent from heaven above.
These March Menaces would never.
You know, we deserve where we've landed.
Oh, 100%.
We put in the work.
If this bracket has shown us anything, we've put in the work.
Yeah, I mean, we deserve it in general because we're good people and they're good people and that's how it works. But like, we also earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially you and me, Kate.
Yeah, that's true. That us with our long list of suitors.
I met my husband at 29, okay? I deserve this.
You know what, ladies? If you have men in your life that are not like the shit 16, make sure you tell them.
Yeah, and if you have one that is, dump him, break up.
Goodbye.
There's no such thing as wasted, or there's, what is it?
No such thing as wasted time because you've always learned something from it. That's what my mom said. Every time I dated a shit person, you know I haven't.
You win or you learn, and we are wise.
Wise beyond our years. All right, ladies, let's wrap it up. Do we have anything else to say?
No, just dump the losers.
And if you're questioning, just send us an email.
Write us in. We'll tell you.
Right in. Yeah, we have lots of experience.
Let us know. We will help you.
We'll dump them for you.
Hell, oh my, I would love to dump someone.
It would be my pleasure.
If that was a job.
Oh, I would love it.
Oh, we could just make a segment of dumping shit people. Wow, sign us up.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
It's like when advice columnists get to just like rip into someone. I'm like, that has to feel so good. So good.
Hell yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. That's our show.
You can do it.
She's got it. You can do it.
I had another sip of this coffee liqueur. I can't do anything. You can find us at Something Feral Pod. No, something.
You're almost there.
You can do it.
Something Feral FTN on Instagram, and then Something Feral Pod at Gmail and on TikTok.
Yeah.
Send us your shitty boyfriends. We'll break up with them for you.
That's right.
We'd love to.
And that's our show. Off to get feral. See you next week.